Hello and welcome to See If It Sticks, the podcast that solves your first world problems without any sound today for some reason. But we're good. I think we're good. I'm Ross.
Good.
I'm Dan.
I'm Dom.
We're back.
I'm Annie.
It was like a question, wasn't it? I'm Dom.
I'm Dom. I have been brought here from a tank.
A tank?
The real Dom is elsewhere.
Is he controlling you with his mind?
Something like that.
Reminds me of that dad joke. There's two fish in a tank. One says, the other says, do you know how to drive this thing?
Oh.
And that's the level of humour you can expect from today's show.
For the next hour, nothing but dad jokes.
Dad jokes, puns, and occasionally some sort of dick or fart joke.
Hey!
Boing. There we go.
Yeah.
And that's it for this.
Yeah, see you later. Let's dive in. So we've got a Dom plaint.
We've got two Dom plates.
We've got two Dom plates this week.
We are pissing people off.
So the first one, I believe, is from Steve Wynn. You haven't actually put it on there, but I recognise the profile picture.
It is
of
from
him
Steve
and his
Wynn.
lovely wife.
Yes. Been searching through his profile.
Yes. Dom plate! Dom plate!
Is it in capitals?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
With dots. You missed the best invention ever. Above the stupid head control holder. LOL.
What do you mean we missed it? We did it, didn't we?
No, above the stupid head control holder thing was, I'm not sure if you recall, was some sort of strange mechanical dog humping toy.
Yes, the USB thing. Yeah, I remember.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that wasn't the best invention ever, I don't think.
Oh, well, I mean, considering that most of the solutions we create on this show are for the betterment of mankind.
Yes.
I think we just sort of...
The producers said to us that we couldn't use that one.
Yes.
They said that, no.
What's that? The producer's saying in my ear that...
We shouldn't mention the
They don't
producers.
exist.
Right, okay.
They decided,
What's that? You want me to kill my family?
Burn it all, you say. And the second one is from Francis Peterson. Says, Dom-plaint, for some reason. The plural for dice is die, dash. And the last podcast was way too geeky for me as a demographic. Glasses, smiley face, game controller, dice, car, camper van, some sort of fridge emoji. They're all emojis.
Is her demographic our demographic, though? She's a young female. I don't think that's our demographic. I don't think about elderly balding men is our demographic, surely.
First of all, I'm okay with the second part of that comment, but I was under the impression, or should I say ICE, was under the impression
Oh my.
that the plural for die was dice.
I think you're right.
And I did a bit of research before the podcast, Dan. Something I've never done before. Because I wanted to beat Francis at her own game. Die is the singular and dice is the plural. But actually, in standard modern English, dice can be both singular and plural.
Ooh. Is that a little bit like how it's just changed with modern usage? Like how octopus, the correct plural of octopus is octopodes. But... because so many people use octopi and octopus and I suppose octopuses. They are all accepted as the plural of octopus.
Yes, because language is an ever-evolving thing.
And we're ganging up on the dictionary.
Yes. So,
making it our bitch.
Francis Peterson, Dom-plaint rescinded.
That's another challenger defeated by the might of See If It Sticks, because last week... No, not last week. It was the week before. 2 weeks ago now. When we were talking about the Mary Rose.
Yes.
Who stepped up to the plate? David Jack Palmer. Said that the Mary Rose didn't sink. And
he was wrong.
And it did.
He was thinking of the Mary Celeste, wasn't he?
Yes.
Yeah.
Which disappeared.
Didn't
it turn out?
It turned up with no one on it.
Turned it up with no one on it. A
freaking
sheep.
Are we delving into a problem? When Dom's finished, wait for Dom to finish.
I will.
I want to see how low he can go.
Okay, go ahead.
We are going to delve into a problem. And this is a problem this week from fan favourite Jamie Linney.
We've got so many fan favourites.
I know. Well, actually,
Every fan is a favourite of every other fan.
yes.
Maybe they should all gang together and do their own sort of charity album for us.
Is it like like after The Walking Dead, you get the
Talking
Talking
Dead. They could do like an after the See If It Sticks. They could do the Talking Sticks.
Yeah, they
Together
could
and do a
do.
little podcast about the podcast.
Say if it sticks.
And that would have roughly half the listeners we've got. So maybe not worth doing.
7.
Because half of them will be doing the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
We'd have to listen.
I would listen to that.
Would you?
I would listen to a in-depth breakdown of each episode by critical voices afterwards, because I'm a masochist and also I like feeling bad about myself.
Expert psychologist Dr. Matt Benley says that their descent into madness puts these boys on a spectrum whereby soon they wouldn't be allowed out of the house or near any other form of humanity.
It's true.
They're dangerous to themselves and to others.
Is that out of the Ghostbusters?
I don't know.
Oh, that's what that guy says, isn't it?
Oh, I think you might be right about that one.
Sounds like you were quoting the Ghostbusters.
What I see.
The good Ghostbusters.
What does yum?
He-Man.
Ooh.
I have the power.
This is what we're doing this week.
Yeah.
Very much looking forward to advertising, because I think it was one of the comparing websites is now doing a thing that features Skeletor feeling good that he compared his car insurance, and He-Man says you are so whatever the brand is.
Money Supermarket.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
And I'm looking forward to our generation being catered to by advertising, because it's all going to be pop culture references.
Yeah, because it's us now, isn't it? It's our turn.
It's our turn. So now it will no longer be based on fear.
No Hyacinth Bouquet doing adverts.
Yeah, no fear, no slightly remember the warness, and we're all in it together. Now it's purely just going to be exactly what this podcast is: pop culture references and puns.
Yeah.
That's the word of the day.
Let's get on with this problem.
Yes, please.
So Jamie Linney,
if only life could be like his funhouse,
has written in about a plight. It is a plight indeed, and it is Tupperware.
Tupperware?
He says that they have 2 we use for work and maybe 2 more sometimes used for food at home. So why is there another 12 tubs in the pantry that have never been used?
He has a pantry? Where does he fucking live?
In over 2 years. So there we go. That is what it is. Tupperware. Why is there such a... Why do people have such
do we as people
wide...
accumulate Tupperware?
I love Tupperware. I do love a Tupperware.
It's a good idea.
Different varying shapes and sizes.
I do like a good Tupperware.
I use it for lunch at work.
Do you know what I use my Tupperware for?
Colouring pencils.
He stores his farts in them for use at a later date.
It's still fresh.
No, I use my Tupperware for wet pallets.
Oh, okay.
Wet pallet.
What the fuck's a wet pallet?
So, as you all know, I
asked Dom what a wet pallet was.
Of course. No, why wouldn't he use it for wet pallets?
Well, I'll tell you what wet pallet is. As you know, I am
like a band.
I am a massive nerd.
Oh, is it for like World of Warcraft? Kind of like a palette of colours?
It's for painting models. So,
yes.
Warhammer.
And they won't dry.
So basically, I
meant Warhammer. That's what I meant, obviously.
So what you do,
painting Warcraft on the screen of your Mac.
yes,
I'm going to make you a blue
frame of the game using a wet palette. No, it's basically it's a 2-layer thing. You put like wet water underneath.
Wet water.
That's where I've been going. I'm using the bloody dry water.
You put water underneath a bunch of like tissue, and then you put the tissue on top, and that becomes so thing. And then you put the paint in, and the paint never dries. Well, hardly. It doesn't dry for a very long time.
And if you put it in Tupperware, it fucking never dries.
Well, because you put the thing over it, stays airtight.
Whack that in there. Trump in the box.
And you also get a weird green mould that grows on it. So that's very good because the problem with model paints is they dry very quickly on a regular, just sort of plastic plate that you use for a palette.
I don't know why, but the term wet palette is just really, it's just really amusing me. I don't know why, because there's no like weird sexual connotation or anything like that.
I don't know. How about we try my wet palette? No, there isn't, is there?
No, it just sounds like a sloppy fart to me. That's what it sounds like.
Dom just dropped a wet palette.
Only one colour. Slightly offish green. Yeah. Like baby poop.
Anyway, that's what I use Tupperware for.
A wet palette.
And to store food in when I'm taking it for a packed lunch. A packed lunch.
Picnic.
A picnic
basket.
No, I use a picnic basket for a picnic.
No, I only use it for lunch.
What's a good lunch for you? What do you take for lunch?
One I've been trying to eat well. I must admit this hasn't
So
been
a packet
happening
of crisps to
recently.
the chocolate bar.
Yes, a Mars bar and a Dr Pepper.
And an apple.
Packet of Frazzles.
No, it's plain chicken and rice, which is boring as hell.
Rice and pea.
Weirdo.
Yeah,
come along now, sing along with me.
I haven't done it
when
for a
say
while,
rice
but I need
and
to get back on
CMP.
that after Easter. I've eaten 3 whole Easter eggs.
Oh my God, I've eaten so badly this Easter.
I ate a whole Easter egg just today.
So Thursday night, I
And
had
a
a
bag of Chipotle crisps.
Chipotle crisps.
Yeah, sensations.
Fucking hell. They do those now.
They've always done them, haven't they?
Apparently
Like
so.
fucking ages.
Chipotle?
Oh, they're the best ones.
Chipotle.
Chipotle.
Chipotle. Well, every time I say Chipotle, Jem like laughs hysterically
Because of the
because
South Park thing.
when we went, not the South Park thing. When we went to Florida, we had the radio on a lot, and there were the same 3 adverts came on a lot. One was Orlando Kia, which in itself is, if you can find it on YouTube, see it. It's basically a guy going, Orlando Kia, constantly. And then there was another one for some sort of new Mexican food source, and the guy was just going, Chipotle chilies, like that. Chipotle chilies, like that, all the time. And the advert had so many times this guy going, Chipotle chilies. It was
when I was in Italy, I was working in a stadium, and they had adverts on the screens in between the game and stuff. And one of the ones they kept playing was an advert for RTL, which I think is like their local big TV station and radio station.
That's a big European station.
Yeah, it's massive. And just for some reason,
Today.
The jingle used to just go, "Very normal people, very normal people." Just like a real bad translation, and it did that all fucking day, every day.
Do you know they say that Russia Today is a propaganda arm of the Russian Federation?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's a big media company.
But we're
One of the
always
ones-
exposing conspiracies on this show, so...
Yeah.
One of the, you remember I recently went away to another land, Eastern land.
is that when you went away to... Rescinded.
The
Yeah.
secret kingdom of Bulgaria.
I'm only not mentioning it because we might have to go back at some point. That news station that I was working for was owned by the government
Oh, really?
and run by the government. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
very.
The news
interesting.
station was run by the rescinded government.
Yeah.
Oh, right, I see. So when
I always find that
unnerving.
I always find that unnerving, but then I guess they're all run by the government, aren't they?
BBC's almost is a technically...
It's run by the people, Dom. It's run by the people for the people.
Is it though? Anyway,
The government make us pay for it, and then it's run by.
I still trust the BBC. I trust the BBC more than I trust a lot of news outlets.
Fox
but
News.
I don't trust the BBC
Even after that,
anymore.
have you seen that BBC thing of the Twin Towers though, where they reported on one of the towers falling down, and then it fell down afterwards?
No.
Have you not seen that? I'll send that link to you.
no. A 9/11 truthing has no place on this podcast.
No, I know,
I
but
agree. We don't cater to morality on this show.
The existence of ghosts, aliens, pixies, leprechauns, whatever, I will entertain that because I'm whimsical.
before George Bush.
I will not. None of those things exist. I'm just going to outright say it.
Dan has no wonder or fantasy in his heart.
Maybe aliens do somewhere. I could probably say that with some certainty.
There's no empirical evidence for science.
blowing his bubbles.
Dan's getting his lab coat on.
Yeah.
Blind you with science.
All I do is put my lab coat on and go, no. No, none of those exist.
There is no empirical evidence to prove this is the case. Anyway, Tupperware.
Tupperware.
Oh, yeah,
Why do we
Tupperware.
have so...
Got into
Is it more a
governments.
question of how do we have so...
Tupperware. Tupper who? Tupper why?
Tupper how?
Tupper then.
Also, we must mention that Tupperware is a brand name.
Yes, so
Is it?
we need
Other brands are available?
We need to call it an airtight plastic receptacle unit.
Oh, receptacle sounds like semen goes in it.
You know what? It was, some sort of bodily fluid.
Yeah. Receptacle means it receives.
Put your wet palate in my in my airtight receptacle. Now it's starting to get sexy.
Oh no.
Hey,
what is it actually? What do they call them then in the shops? Because I don't call them an airtight.
well, they just call them like
Food sealable locking container.
Yeah.
Or like, food tub. If you're a
Tupper box.
Tupper box. Well, there's different brands. I'm particularly partial to Sistema.
Oh.
Because they have like the locking things.
Yeah, I've got those on the one that I've got.
things.
Mine are Tesco's own, and they've got the locking things.
Yeah. These I just find them quite sturdy.
And they stack quite nicely.
As we all know, I go through a lot of things quite quickly because I break things rather easily. I go through a lot of Tupperware. That's all I'm saying.
Is that because when you don't quite have the lid set on right, you just force the lock shut?
Yeah.
Yeah. You got his fucking hammer out.
It's all a bit 2001.
My wet pallet's drying.
Fuck off. With your
You must have put the dry water in.
otherwise known as air.
Well, I don't. Do we need to stop people from buying?
Well, it does build
a
up,
clutter,
doesn't it?
isn't
It
it?
does build
Yeah.
up. There's an entire cupboard in my kitchen. Well,
Same, yeah.
that's just filled to the brim with receivable receptacles.
The other day I was in the cupboard, in that particular cupboard, not in your house.
The receivable receptacle cupboard.
in the airtight receivable receptacle cupboard,
Yeah.
And I was trying to get something else out of it, and they all just fell out. All the lids fell out.
Oh fuck, nightmare.
Glorious.
Can you not stack them like Russian dolls though?
Well, that's how
Make
they're
them-
all stacked, but still
Yeah.
the lids fell out because once,
Yeah,
you know, as you
lids
know,
don't stack.
when you stack a load of lids, one goes and then it drags all the rest of them out. It was just all falling in the kitchen. Oh
Right.
yeah, awful.
The pickle.
It was a real pickle.
You can put pickle in them.
You can put anything you want in them, Ross. Even the aforementioned bodily fluids.
I have found that if you put spring rolls in there, 'cause sometimes I like to spice things up a little bit with a vegetable spring roll,
Yeah.
they go soggy.
See, that's my big problem with taking sandwiches as packed lunch. They can occasionally go soggy.
It's a very real danger. Particularly, I'm quite fond of a ham and tomato sandwich.
Oh yes.
Ah, yeah, the tomato. So if
Real
you put any sort
danger.
of veg in there, like a bit of lettuce,
Well,
the moisture.
I've got to say, here's a little innovation which I had never actually considered. That I'd never seen it before until I went round my girlfriend's house, and I watched her dad preparing a sandwich, Graham, who has written into this show before. And what he does is when he's making his sandwich, like if he's got some like cucumber and stuff like that to go in there, he just pats it with a little piece of kitchen paper, put it in there.
What
so then
fucking effort.
and then
Jesus.
well, it's worth it for a dry sandwich, Ross. I would say
Who
anything
wants a
is
dry
worth
sandwich?
That is
I want a soggy
that was a bit-
sandwich.
You don't want your bread to go all soggy.
I'd rather that than it all be like really dry.
Oh, well, you don't. It's not like you're sucking all the water out of it. It's
Like
not,
what I do, Dan, is I don't eat my sandwiches. I suck them.
Oh,
For a straw.
I suck the juice.
No, I don't like that. So
that
stop
is-
doing that.
That is.
You know, like when you have a
disgusting.
lolly and then you suck it, it goes white because all the good stuff's come out. It's like that with the sandwich. You just suck all the good stuff out.
Yeah, I thought that was a really.
That's
good.
quite the meticulous sandwich making.
That is,
situation.
yeah.
The thing is, like, if there's one thing I have consistently appreciated, is a good sandwich maker. So
Yes.
good
That is a lot
sandwich
of effort,
making.
isn't it, to make a sandwich?
But
to
I go
damp
through a lot of effort to make a sandwich anyway. If I'm gonna really go all out and make myself a good sandwich, there's a lot of effort that goes into it.
no,
And
mine's
I'm not just a bit of meat between two pieces of bread.
That's,
sort of guy.
I'm that sort of guy. But
am
I don't
as
have
well.
butter
bang,
or anything
bang,
like that.
bang, bang, bosh, cut it.
Oh no,
eat it.
I go through
Get sucking.
everything.
Get sucking.
Freaking me out, man.
He's taking a mic with him. I'm going to send you a video in a week of me sucking on a sandwich.
If only I had Snapchat.
Please don't.
Yeah, I'm going to.
If only I had Snapchat.
I'm going to go, hey Dom.
Get sucking.
You know what the worst thing is when you take a packed lunch? So if you put something moderately heavy in there and it gets turned around in your bag or something, and there's like one little corner of the sandwich which gets crushed by like the apple or your bottle of drink or something.
Or my Rocky bar.
Yeah. That is bad, and that's particularly bad with the ham and tomato sarnie as well, because it just squeezes all the juice out of the tomato.
Yeah,
not even if you pat dry a tomato, there's no way that, because you don't take all the moisture out.
They're juicy bastards.
They're so
you
juicy.
You can't take all the moisture out, otherwise it's not tomato anymore, is it?
But that's the beauty. That's the beauty of the ham and tomato sandwich for me, is that I like a bit of juicy. I like a juicy sandwich.
You know.
So does Ross.
Yep.
More moisture to suck out.
At the end of lunch, there's just two like really dry pieces of bland looking bread on the side.
Like colourless.
All life pulled from it.
That's it.
Yeah.
The husk of the sandwich that it once was.
Lovely.
If you can imagine a sun-dried tomato, but a sandwich.
Well, I like a sun-dried tomato. I'm not big with sun-dried tomatoes in sandwiches. I prefer juicy tomato in a sandwich.
Do you?
Yeah. yeah.
We should be coming up with some solutions for possibly. I think the problem is the storage of them, because they create clutter.
Yeah.
Now, what if we had some sort of preloaded Tupperware selection device built into your wall? You all right?
Yeah, I thought I could hear something like, sounds like a phone ringing, but like not without a break in it.
I'll tell you what that sounds like. One of those solar panel things spooling up.
Could be.
So someone's starting one of our cars and driving off with it.
Could be that too.
Or that.
It's not mine.
It's not mine. Oh yeah, we'd hear it if it was.
Oh, it'd be mine.
Yeah. So like you have a little screen on the wall. You specify the size.
Where are these things going, Dom?
They're in the wall.
They're in the walls. They're in the goddamn walls.
Yeah. So you have like a hopper. You have a hopper.
Yeah.
Where you load the thing with new Tupperware.
Is it like the Coke machine?
A new airtight storage receptacle.
Yes.
Is it like the Coke machine at Five Guys, where you can just choose whatever you want and it comes out?
Yeah, pretty much. And it just you hear this clunk, clunk.
Well, I'm just actually starting to think maybe in your case, Ross, maybe we should just do away with the Tupperware. If you should just start eating smoothies.
Sandwich paste.
Yeah.
I think, you know those things that an Indian comes in, those metal containers with the paper lid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? With the little folded over edges.
Takeaway.
Can we modify them in a way that they can be completely sealed? A bit of like cork, bathroom cork around the edge or something, in a way that they can be sealed properly. Because they can be flattened, can't they?
Yes, they can be flattened.
They can be flattened out to like a plate. And that would take up almost no room. And then you fold them up, put your sealant around the edge, squish them in.
Well, you know what we're overlooking here? Vacuum sealing. Because I know someone who's got a vacuum sealer, so that when they want to marinate some meat or something, they get it all.
Is that our mate Trev?
Yeah.
Oh.
Seems like the kind of guy to having a vacuum sealer, isn't he?
Is that right?
Yeah. He vacuum seals a lot of his meat, like marinates it in a vacuum sealed thing. Yeah.
Does he use what they call it, the water bath?
No, he doesn't.
Cook it. What they call sous vide.
Not that I've seen, but he could do. The food is good.
Yes.
I think it's largely fried though. Fried and oven cooked. Very nice.
I think that might even be a solution, Dan.
Vacuum sealing.
Is a vacuum sealing machine a large object?
Larger
than your cupboard of...
But probably
Tupperware.
no larger than all of the section of Tupperware.
It can be. Vacuum sealers can be quite like sort of microwave sized.
You could have it built into your work surface. If it's something you use that often, you could have it built into your work surface on your kitchen. And then you lose a drawer, maybe.
A lot of plastic every day, though.
That is true.
It's not good for the polar bears, is
Because you
it?
can't reuse the plastic you seal.
Is it not recyclable material?
Not really.
It's not HDPE or whatever it is.
I don't know what it is, but it just seems a bit wasteful.
Yeah, I know what you mean. That's disappointing.
Hell of a solution, eh?
Hell of a solution, well done. But 3D printing.
3D print. Print the right size container each time, and then melt down.
Then reuse.
Melt down and reuse.
Or you could take the 3D printer with you and 3D print your sandwich, so you don't have to be kept fresh. It could just come out as a fresh sandwich, therefore eliminating the need for Tupperware.
You could print the bread.
Yeah.
Basically, you're talking about a Star Trek style.
I'm talking about the future.
What they call them? Like what are they called? I don't know, I'm going to call it a fabricator, but yeah.
Like what they have in Back to the Future 2, they put the little thing in and the pizza comes out.
Put the tiny pizza in. Yeah.
That's it.
Rehydrates it.
That's it. That was a rehydrator, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It was a big machine, though, wasn't it? That was a
that
big
was
machine.
big, but I think in the past they thought everything was going to be big in the future.
Yeah.
Whereas we've actually gone
Except
the
for
other
phones, tiny phones. Hello.
way. Yeah.
And they're getting bigger again.
Yeah, but there's more to look at them on now, isn't there?
Yeah.
There was that trend, wasn't there, where the phones were getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And smaller.
8210 I had. A Nokia 8210.
That was small, wasn't it?
That was very, very small indeed. Yeah. I don't
had
know how
an
I used
Ericsson
it.
It was small. Little Sony thing that was
How do
tiny.
you text on that?
Oh, it was nightmare.
But yeah, I guess what we want is now a bigger surface, don't we, to see things and touch things, because it's very tactile, isn't it? What we do now, we want something bigger. The way we use our phones is very different,
but still light. Yeah, I still like the idea of printing it and then reusing it.
Reusing it.
Can we have like a carpool thing where we have like a sandwich pool where there's like a large Tupperware box that goes to a certain area, and then everybody's stuff is in one large Tupperware box?
I don't like that idea.
No.
I do not like that.
You don't want your
idea.
sandwich touching other person's
No,
sandwich.
because
I don't
what if
want anyone
Jane from
touching my
accounting has
sandwich.
a grudge against you and she makes you a shit sandwich?
What if she has a particularly stinky sandwich and you've got quite a bland sandwich?
Exactly.
The smells are going to...
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's not a good idea.
Okay, I was just thinking out loud. I do like Dan's idea. Can we use biodegradable plastics of some kind? Can we use...
Trouble is, even when you vacuum seal, if you vacuum seal a sandwich,
Still be damaged, can't it?
gonna go in your,
Squish it a bit.
yeah,
as well.
it's gonna get squished a bit, and there's the danger that it could get.
It might suck all the juice out.
Yeah, yeah, that's your job.
That's it. And if it sucked all the juice out, there's nothing left for me to do.
It's true. Can't
What-
chew.
Is there no way that we can
Plays havoc with his dentures.
change the size of the Tupperware containers that we're using here?
In what way?
Like have sort of like, I don't know, maybe if you heated up the Tupperware container, you could make it
Use
larger.
the rehydrating stuff from the giant dinosaurs that you used to get at Christmas. Remember where you used to get a little leg?
Yes.
Yeah. So they come like a size of like a pea. Drop a bit of water on it, and then 5 days later, or like an hour
So
later.
we're having them... So when we store them away for a little while, for a long periods of time, they shrink right down.
Yeah.
Make them out of that material that flannels are made out
Yeah.
of. You remember when you get those little tiny little
Those little flannels.
packaged flannels, and then you put it in the sink and it expands.
Yes.
Like a sponge.
Yes, like that. Change.
But then what are
the-
you going to keep all these little things in? A Tupperware box?
No, they'd just be in a little bag like coffee beans.
Yeah,
Yeah.
little. Or you could they could be so small that you could get a Australian style hat and have them hanging off of the pieces
Yeah.
of string on it.
Yeah. What if
I
it
actually
rains?
quite like that idea.
What if it rains just surrounded by Tupperware?
Yeah, it's got loads of Tupperware.
The car splashes you.
They called him the Tupperware man.
If you saw someone with loads of air-dried Tupperwares all over their head, you'd fucking throw water on them.
Probably.
You know you would.
That's true. The hat idea I don't like, but the idea of
Yeah, let's meet in the middle here.
Is there no way we can incorporate this into a hat design?
I'm sorry, no. It's a no from me, and I think it's a no from Ross.
Yeah.
So yeah, no,
You
I
could
like
just
that
wear a
idea.
hat.
Oh
You
yeah.
have
could
it
just buy a
separate.
bag of like assorted Tupperware.
So you want them to be tiny,
Yeah.
and then rehydrate them, and they become bigger.
Make it out of some sort of sponge-like material, sponge-like plastic, so they break up rather easily as well when they're thrown away.
Right, like an
So-
organic material.
Yeah, some sort of organic cell structure.
Okay. Well,
Genetically modified Tupperware.
yeah.
You look round and it'll be eating your sandwich.
Well, no.
No one eats my sandwich.
So I've been told.
No one gets near his wet palate.
It's true. No one gets near my wet palate.
Thank God.
Can't be messing up the ratio of green to black.
I don't know what this means.
I don't know.
No, nor do I. I can imagine your fridge to be quite interesting to look into.
It's not.
It's not. Is it
It's
not in
full
your
of
fridge?
sausages.
Or is it?
No, you don't keep a wet palette in the fridge.
What? You're saying it's like I'm fucking stupid for not knowing that. But
Duh,
I've never
Ross.
heard of a wet palette before
I just
today.
keep it in a drawer with the rest of my stuff.
The rest of his moist objects.
I have a moist objects drawer.
I've kept every semen stained tissue that I've ever.
Oh, Ross!
Oh, Jesus. We're recording this. We're recording this episode on Easter Monday, Ross. It's
sorry,
it's
Jesus.
the Lord's weekend.
He has risen, Ross.
I've heard, yeah.
He died so you could throw those tissues away.
It's true. And that's a sin in itself, onanism.
Is it?
Yes, it's very much
Wasting the sperms.
self-harm. Yes, because it's meant for procreation, not your own base pleasures.
We're in trouble.
While you're shaking milky milk from the old brown coconut.
When you're milking your wet palate.
Squeezing your love piss from your dirty old snake.
Dirty old snake.
Silly old wasp.
Gonna plumb up a friendly old bum. Yeah, Willy.
Yes, I'd like remoldable Tupperware.
Yeah, that's good. I like that one a lot.
So like Play-Doh plus Tupperware.
Well, I mean, I was sort of thinking, like, you know how...
Because you can eat Play-Doh.
Yeah, but you know, if you leave Play-Doh out, like clay, like...
Yeah.
It hardens.
Yeah, and then if you sort of get clay wet again, it sort of softens up a little bit, doesn't it? So like, I'm thinking like maybe there's some sort of way that you could have it and it'd be very small, and you could stretch the material out and maybe put like a base in there or something to keep it formed, and like maybe you could put it in the microwave for like 30 seconds to set it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, like your microwave is the kiln.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And then to sort of reset it, you sort of like maybe soak it in water or put it in the dishwasher and it shrinks in the dishwasher.
And shrinks back down. Yeah, no, I like that a lot.
Yeah.
What do you say?
I'm with you. You get working on the technology and I'll buy some of those.
Send it down to R&D! I believe that has been...
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
We all happy?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
I'm
happy.
happy.
Okay, any other orders of business today?
No.
No?
I didn't think we were going to get through that so quickly. So
No.
that's about all we've got.
It wasn't that quick, was it?
It was quite fast.
Where are
Quite
we?
fast. 32 minutes.
All right.
Wowza. That's...
Wowza! Where did you go on holiday? The fucking 50s?
Yeah.
It's like
It was like the 50s.
Nothing allowed.
Stupid sexy Flanders. Well, do we have anything else you want to do, or do we want to wrap it up for this week? Keep it short.
Keep it short and sweet.
We can keep it short and sweet, yeah.
We have to go to mass. So,
Oh, we do, don't we?
Yes.
I have a lot of Hail Marys to say.
Yeah.
Got your rosaries.
I'm going to get some from Mazda.
How long has it been since your last confession, Ross?
33-ish years.
Never?
Have
Yeah, never.
you ever been to confession?
Yeah.
You have?
Catholic school,
Because I know you went to Catholic school. I wasn't
Yeah,
sure.
I'm not baptized to Catholic or confirmed, but I have been to confession. Last time I went to confession was when I went to the Vatican, so that's a long time ago. Because I thought I might as well sing as I'm here. And that was
I'd love to go and confess to some weird shit.
that was like 10 years ago. When I went to visit family in Italy, and I visited the Vatican for the day, and they have lots of different booths, all with different languages on it. So they tell you
really?
which language the priest speaks in the different box. And I went to confession then, yeah. But I'm not religious at all. But
Their wage bill must be incredible at the Vatican then. If they've got to have like a series of different...
there must have been about 25 different confession
There's a
boxes
lot of
in
money at the
Vatican.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are.
There's an
This is
awful
what
lot
we-
of gold there.
Yeah.
This is why I think we should turn this into a religion and get some tax breaks going
Yep.
on.
Have our own little area cordoned off as its own little city.
Yeah, instead of coming to confession, they can come and give us problems.
Yep. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What they can do, we could just have one of us in a box at all times with a sandwich.
How long since your last problem?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, everything's a sin in Catholicism. Catholic
Yes.
guilt is a real thing.
Yeah.
Everything is a sin.
Poor Catholics. If you went in and confessed to something that wasn't true, do you think they would know? I know they're
No, it
not mind
depends on
readers.
how good a judge of character the guy is.
No, but Jesus would.
He would, wouldn't he?
True, you're doing it under the eyes of God. And all his angels.
Would that be? It wouldn't be blasphemy if you.
It would be a sin if you lied in the confession booth, yeah.
Would it?
Oh, God, yeah. Lying is a sin anyway.
Is it?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Bearing false witness.
Oh, right, okay.
He would know.
Yeah, you would, yeah.
I made a joke in a church once. It went really badly. I was doing some electrics, some LED lights down the back of this cross, which was making it look really cool, actually. We put an LED around the back of it, so it like lit up the back of the wall behind it. It's very cool. And I put my multimeter on it, and I said to my boss that was there at the time, I was like, oh, that's weird, 66.6 volts. And he went, don't joke about that. And he went, bang, and the whole lot went off.
No, so, really?
Whoops.
What a marvellous coincidence.
Yeah.
Ooh. It was a bit spooky though, wasn't it?
Do you think they use that for, like, when people are, like, late at night in the church, like, someone comes in and they're, you know, kneeling down and then they light it up.
Yeah.
So it looks like, oh!
It did look very cool when it was done.
God is talking to you.
Just like how they plumb in the, the statue of the Virgin Mary, so it looks like she's crying. What was that on?
They did it in Always Sunny, but it was a water stain, and they took advantage. And Max seemed to think it looked like the Virgin Mary, and so they
that was it. Yeah,
and they charged people to come and look at it, but people were taking a lot. And that's the episode you meet Rickety Cricket. That's how Rickety Cricket.
South Park was the one where it was bleeding, wasn't it? Bleeding out its butt.
Yeah.
The Virgin Mary statue.
Isn't there an episode of Family Guy or The Simpsons? It's The Simpsons.
Oh, the Pope's quote in that, wasn't it? At the end, it's like, "There's nothing special here. Chicks bleed out their vaginas all the time."
Yeah. There's an episode. It's an episode of The Simpsons where there's a Virgin Mary statue and people like start speaking in tongues and like rolling around, and it turns out it's a gas leak underneath.
Yeah, that's
it. Yeah.
That, yeah.
Doesn't Homer build a theme park, or Ned builds a theme park around it, doesn't he?
Yeah. Simpsons.
And it turns out
done
it was
first.
just nothing at all. Nothing at all.
It's like I'm wearing nothing at all.
Simpsons did it first then.
Simpsons did it.
Simpsons did it all.
Simpsons did it. We're going to name this bad boy.
Let's.
I'm going to put down what I suggested as the tagline for the live stream of this podcast. If you like it, then you should have put a lid on it.
I do like that.
All right. Give it a minute. Give it a minute to brew. See if we can think of anything.
Percolate.
Yeah.
Steep.
Tupper, where are you going with this? No.
I think we should call it wet water.
Wet palette.
Wet Watergate.
Tupper why?
Tupper who? Tupper there.
Dom's wet palette and other mysteries.
Sucking the juice out of sandwiches.
Yeah.
Ross sucks ... sandwiches.
Yeah. 3 Hail Marys and a cheese and pickle sandwich.
Oh, Dan's going into his mind.
Oh, his eyes are flickering. He's been possessed.
I was going. I was going for like Easter Sunday. I was going to say Easter sub day, but it wasn't really panning out. I think we should just call it. If you like it, then you should have put a lid on it.
Yeah.
I enjoy it. I like that one.
Good. I can add another one to the list.
It has been named. If you like it, then you should have put a lid on it.
Yeah.
If you like it, you should put a lid on it. If you like it, you should
That's the sound my wet palette makes.
Oh. You have to send us a picture of your wet palette later, Dom.
Please don't.
I want to see it.
I'm not going home.
Alright. When you next see your wet palette, send me a picture of your wet palette because I want to see what it looks like.
Have you got any that are still moist?
No, I haven't used it for a couple of months, so it's probably dry.
I don't know what it is about this wet palette thing that just keeps amusing me. I don't know what it is.
I don't know what it is either. Ross, wrap it up.
It's a wrap. Get in touch with us. stickitpod.com. There's a nice little easy for you to fill out form on there. You can send us your problems. It takes you but a moment, and then you're back on with your life. listening to the
Forgetting that you
podcast.
said it's in something. And
That's
never
it.
listening to
And then
the
it'll be a
episode,
surprise when it appears and we solve it 3 years later. It's not that long.
or 3 years.
Unless you're
before
Lauren
you
Bramley.
asked us
But
the
other than that,
problem.
it's not that long.
We will we'll print it out, put it in a resealable airtight receptacle, keep it fresh
We'll
until
put some wet water on it.
And then it will stay dry because it'll be dry water.
That's right. So stickitpod.com is your hub for all things see if it sticks. Share things out. Tell your friends. Tell your nan. Tell your local priest. No, don't tell him.
Oh, we did a lot about Jesus on that one. He probably enjoyed that.
I don't know if he'll enjoy it.
Father, it's been 15 years since my last confession. I listened to See If It Sticks last night, and I feel like I've sinned.
You have sinned if you've listened to this. For this week,
For
then.
lust, for Dan.
Yeah. For this week, I have been Ross.
I have been Dan.
And I have been dumb.